Jai Hind viewers, I am Sudhakar Dwivedi, Assistant Professor in Information Technology Department. Today we are going to discuss a very important programming language that is based on the object-oriented programming concept, and that is widely used in developing the various type of the applications. Today we are going to discuss the basic features and the basic programming terminology about the Java programming language. So let's discuss. So what actually the Java is? So as we can see, Java is one of the most popular and widely used programming language in the world. And it is an object-oriented programming language. What is object-oriented programming language? We will discuss. It is platform-independent language. And this is the features, platform independency and the object-oriented features make it so powerful that that can be used in almost all type of the applications developments, from mobile apps to the enterprise software. So first, I have said this is an object-oriented programming language. So what is object-oriented means? So we have learned a lot of programming languages as one of the approaches procedural programming language. So what happens in the procedural programming language? We focus on the procedures of the programs, not on the data. So if we see, there is two things in the programs. One is data and another is procedure. So in the procedural procedural oriented programming language, we generally focus on the procedures, not on the data. That means in the procedure oriented programming language, data is freely allowed to move. Data is not secure. But in the object oriented programming language, we are all deal the programming concepts in the sense of the objects. So what is object actually? So the object means the data and the associated methods or associated procedures that process this particular data is bind into a single unit. That means there is a data. If I am talking about the object, so there is a data and all the methods that can process this data is bind with this unit. So there is a method 1, say, some method 2, and all the methods here. So we have bind the methods with the data into a single unit. That is known as the object here. That means in this particular concept, the data is not allowed to freely move. The method that is associated with this data or the method that is bind with this data is only allowed to process this particular data. That means though no outside method, no outside code can process this particular data. So data is here a secure, data here is a secure entity. But in this concept, the procedural oriented programming approach, data was freely allowed to move. That means the focus was to develop the procedure. And here we are focusing on the securing of the data with the help of the object. So object is a concept that encapsulates the data and the associated methods into a single unit. And a lot of features the object-oriented provides so that we can create programs very easily in this by using this programming language. And one of the important features is the platform independency. That means we can write the code in one platform and we can execute it onto any platform. And this platform independency comes in this particular language because of the some features in the Java. So Java produce a code actually that is not a machine dependent. So Java produce a code after the compilation that is known as a byte code, and byte code is not the machine dependent code. That means this byte code can be executed on any type of the machine. It is not depends on the any type of the platform, so that we can create a variety of the programs by using the Java programming language. So as we know, the Java was created by the James Gosling at Sun. And later the Sun Micros, later on it is acquired by the Oracle Corporation, and the first version is released as a JDK beta in 1995, and then the subsequent versions is released of the Java. As we can see, the JDK 1.0, 1.1, 1.2, and after 1.4, the major release is the 5.0. So it is a major shift from this Java to standard edition 1.4, and now the convention is changed just J2SE 5.0, because there is a major changes. Here there is no Java 2.0, it is renamed as a Java 2 SE 5.0. Then Java SE standard edition 6, 7, 8, and now the Java 24 is the version, that is the current version as of the March 2025. Java 8, as we can see, the Java 8, Java 11, 17 and 21, it's a long-term support. That means it's the LTS version that is still under the maintenance, and that is still provides the maintenance support. So it provides a long-term support, the Java 8, 11, 17 and 21. So what is the additions of the Java actually? So as we can see here, Sun has defined and support 4 editions of the Java, targeting to the different type of the application environments. So which type of the application we want to create? According to that, the Sun has already defined and support the 4 editions. The 4 edition is the Java Standard Edition, that is Java SE, that is support the core part of the programming language for developing the desktop applications or simple desktop applications. Then Java Enterprise Editions, it is used to develop the enterprise grade applications, web applications or some server side programmings. Then Java Micro Editions. So Java Micro Edition is particularly used for the micro devices, like for the IoT devices or some embedded systems, or for the mobile applications, we use the Java Micro Editions. And now there is a Java FX. So Java FX is the editions that provide the features to create an interactive and visually appealing applications. So it provides a great GUIs, graphical user interfaces. So it rich in the graphical user interfaces, and through which we can create an visually appealing applications. So these are the major additions of the Java that we will use. So why we are using this Java? Because of the features the Java is providing. So as we can see here, it is the first feature, it is an object oriented. That means all the programming we are going to create, we are thinking the solution of the programming in the concept of the object and classes. And it is based on the object oriented principles. It is very simple to use. It is secure, that I have said. Data is not allowed to freely move here. That means it is secure. And that's why it can be used in the variety of the internet programming applications also. It is platform independent because the code after compilation that it creates is a bytecode that is not depend on a particular machine. It is robust, and yes, I have said it is portable. So portable means once we have created a program on one type of the system, we can take it to other systems and we can easily execute it. It is architecturally neutral. And this architectural neutrality comes into the Java because of the bytecode. Because the bytecode, once we have compiled a program into one machine, and then we take it to the other machine and we can execute it. So architectural neutrality comes because of the it creates a bytecode that is not the machine dependent actually. So it creates a bytecode according to the machine that is virtual, that is known as the JVM. So according to the JVM, Java Virtual Machine, it creates a bytecode. It's a dynamic also. So it is the programming language that is the compiled and interpreted both. So once we have compiled, we have compiled code, we can take it to the other machines and then we can interpret it. Yes, the performance of the Java code is very high as compared to the other languages. And one of the major features in this language is multi-threading. That means we can create a threads, we can create a multiple part of the programs, and we can execute this multiple of the programs parallelly or simultaneously, right? So because of these features the Java supports, that's why we are using the Java in worldwide applications. So these are the history of the Java as we have discussed. So first, if we want to create any applications in the Java, first we need to a Java platform into our system so that we can create the Java programs and we can compile and execute the Java programs. So first we need to an environmental setup for the Java. So first we need to install the Java in our systems, and then we can write the programs and we can easily execute it. So the Java environment provides everything needed to develop and run the Java applications. So in this environment, we can have all the required features that can create the Java programs and that can run the Java programs. And if we see, it consists of the three main components in the Java environment. So three main components is JDK, that is a Java development kit. So it is the JDK, and the JDK have the JVM, Java Virtual Machine, and JRE, that is known as the it is the JRE, and JRE have Java Runtime Environment have the JVM, Java Virtual Machine. So it consists of three main components. If we say the Java Development Kit, the Java Runtime Environment, that is JRE, and the JVM, that is a Java Virtual Machine. So if we have set the Java environment, or we have downloaded and installed the Java environment in our system, we can easily create the Java program and compile and execute it. So first we need to set these environment in your system. So for that, first we need to download and install the JDK. So we can download the latest JDK, Java Development Kit, from the official Oracle website or the OpenJDK, and then we can run the installer and follow the instructions to install the Java, and then finally install the Java in our system. Then after the installation, we have to set some environment variables. We have to set some paths so that it can find the Java compiler and Java interpreter, so that we can easily compile or run the Java programs. And yes, we can verify the installation by running a Java command like this as version and javac and version. So we can run this particular command on the command prompt, and then we can assure that the installation is completed. So Java Development Kit. What the Java Development Kit actually have? So Java Development Kit itself, term is a kit that is supports in development of the Java. That means it have all the tools and techniques through which we can create the Java applications, through which we can compile or interpret the Java applications. So it have the various components to support the application development and compilation and execution. So it provides all the platform to create and compile and execute the Java applications. So the first component is JavaC. We can say here it is a JavaC, that is Java compiler, and it specifies the Java compiler that converts the source code into the Java bytecode. So Java compiler take the source code written in the Java programming language and then convert it to the bytecode. Then Java. It is a Java interpreter. So this tool is an interpreter and can be used to interpret the class file that is generated after the compilation of the Java source code by the JavaC. Now the Java doc. This is used for the documentation generator. This can be used as a documentation generator that automatically generate the documentation from the source code commits. And JavaP, this is known as the disassembler, and JDB, it is a Java debugger that helps us to find the errors in our programs. So these are some basic tools. There are a lot of tools also available in the JDK, but these are some basic tools that we are going to use in our Java development, compilation, and then execution of the Java programs. So what are the tools that we will use for the development and the execution of the program? First, we can use any a command line for the compilation and execution. So we can compile and run the Java programs using the terminal commands, or we can use any type of the IDE and that is installed in our system. IDE means Integrated Development Environment, that provides all the features, all the environments through which we can create and develop the Java programs. So these are the some IDEs available like the Eclipse, IntelliJ, IDEA, NetBeans, and a lot of more IDEs available in the market, and we can install into our system and we can use it whichever we require. So by using one of this, either the command line argument, either the command line through the commands, or either we use the IDEs, we can create the Java and we can run and execute the Java programs. So when we have created a Java code, we need to compile it. So after compilation, we use the Java compiler, and after compilation, the dot class file is created. But as I have said, this dot class file is not targeted to a particular machine. This dot class file is not directly targeted to a particular machine. That means the dot class file is not a machine dependent code. This dot class file is according to this JVM, Java Virtual Machine. And this Java Virtual Machine is actually targeted to a particular machine. So the dot class file that is generated after the compilation of code, it is not the machine dependent. It is actually a dependent, that is a virtual machine. So once we have created a Java code, we have compiled, we have got a dot class file, and then we can execute it easily. So if we want to write a first Java applications, what will be the structure to write a Java code? So this is the basic structures. So the first line that we can use for the package declaration statement, it is optional. If we are using any type of the package, we can write any type of the package declaration statement. Then if we require a package for our program, we can import the already made packages for our programming. Then we need to create a class because it is the object-oriented programming language, as we have said. So this is totally depends on the class and objects. So after declaration of the package and then importing all the packages that we require for our programs, we need to create a class. And the class actually contains the variables, the methods, and the constructors that we will discuss. This is the first Java program. So as I have said, if we want to create a Java program, first we need to create a class. So for creating a class, first we have written a keyword class, and this is the class name. So the general convention of the naming of the class, that the first letter of the class should be in uppercase letters. So this is the class, and as the every programming languages, as I am talking about the procedural programming languages or the Java programming languages, have a lots of methods. And one method that is very important, where the executions actually begins, that is the main methods. So as I have said, the every class can have the various data, and to process that data, we have some type of the methods. But one method it is necessarily have, that is the main methods, to indicate the beginning of the execution. So it have the main methods, and to write the main method, the proper syntax is this. So this main method is not returning anything, that's why it is void. This method is also static, that means this method can be called without creating any type of the instance, without creating any type of the objects. And this method is public, that means it is accessible to all. So this is the basic syntax of this main methods. And now we want to print something, so we have used the println methods. And the println methods comes from the system class, and this is the object out object. So we can write the first program in this way. So once we have created this program, we have to save the file, and we have to save the file with this class name, which have the main method, right? So it is because the name of the class file, because the main methods is in the hello world, that's why we have saved this file by the hello world.java, right? So this is the components that we have used, like the public, static, void, main, and string args. What is this actually? So first we have created a class. So for creating the class, we have used a keyword, that is class. Then for creating the method, we have used a keyword public. So this keyword means, this modifier means, it represents a visibility. Public is the access specifier. That means it represents a visibility. That means this methods is visible to all. The public method means it is visible to all. It is not restricted. Static. What the static keyword actually means? We have used the static before the main. So static means, I have said, if we declare any method as the static, it is known as the static methods. So whenever we have used the static keyword before the method, this method can be considered as an static method. And the core advantage of this method is there is no need to create an object to invoke the static methods. That means static methods can directly be called without even creating the object of that class. So this is the core advantage of the static methods. So because this method is executed by the JVM, Java Virtual Machine itself, so it doesn't require to create any object to invoke this type of the methods. So actually this also saves the memory also. So whenever we have declared any method as static, we can directly call it. Void is a return type, as I have said, and it means it doesn't return any value, does not returning any value to its caller methods. And main represents the starting point or the beginning of the execution. And here also we have passed some arguments, and this argument is type of the string. So string args is used for the command line argument. And this line system.out.println is used to print the statement. And here the system is a class. As I have said, the system is a class. Out is the object, and this println is the method. So this is the class, this is the object, and this is the method, right? So this is the working of the Java. So the first step, we have created the Java program. We have created a source file. Then we use the Java compiler to compile this source file. And after compilation, if it is successfully compiles, then it will generate a .class file actually. That is a bytecode. And this bytecode is not a machine dependent code. This bytecode is actually targeted to a particular JVM. Now we can execute this .class file, and finally we get the output of this Java code. As I have said, that all that we are going to deal with the Java programming, all are based on the classes and objects, because this is object oriented programming. So all the programming scenarios we are going to discuss, all are represented in the terms of the class and objects actually. So what is class actually means? So if I am talking about the class, so class in Java is a blueprint or template. It's like a template to create an object. So we want to create an object. So we can provide a template or we can provide a blueprint as a class. And in class, we define two things. One is attributes and another one is methods or behaviors. So class can have attributes and behavior. Attributes means fields, means data, and behaviors means methods that is used to process the data. So class actually have the attributes and the behaviors that the objects created from the class will have. That means whatever the object we are going to create, and we wanted a particular behavior or methods or attributes or data to be in that particular object, that should be declared in the class as a template. This is the basic structure. This is the basic component that we can have in the class. So we will use the class name first, and in the class there is attributes. Attributes mean fields or variables. There should be a method and constructor. So if we are talking about the class, suppose there is a person, and we want to represent a person as a class in the case of the Java programming. So everyone has some attributes, everyone has some functionality. So as the object, I can define the object is any real world thing that have some attribute and some functionality or some properties. So everything has some attributes and some functionality. Like the person has some attributes. Attributes means it has some name, some age, some gender, some occupation. These are all as the attributes. And this person performs something. It has some functionality to do. That is means it can walk, it can eat, sleep, work. He can walk, eat, sleep, and work. So this is his functionality. So actually, this person can be represented as a class. As I have said, a class may contain fields. A class may contain the fields, methods, constructors. A class can also contain some blocks, and a class can also contain another class also. So this is the example here. So once we want to create a class, we need to, this maybe have a structure of the class. We have used the access specifier here. So we can mention the access specifier also before the class, then the class keyword, and then the class name. So this is the access specifier, then the class keyword, and then the class name. And then we can use the fields. These are the fields. These are the fields or the class members. These are the class members, and these are the instance variable. These are also known as the instance variable. These fields are also known as the instance variables and the instance methods. So these are all the fields, and these are all the methods, because these are created inside the class. So whenever we have instantiate this class, then can only it be created. That's why it is known as the instance variable or instance methods. So when we create the object of this type of the class, all these fields and this method came into the existence actually. So that's why it is known as the instance variable or instance methods. Now, whenever we have a class, we have a template, so we can create an object of that type of the template at that type of the class. So actually the object is an instance of the class. As I have said, the object is anything that have some attributes and properties. So object is actually the physical reality of the class. It is an instance of the class. It represents the specific entity that have the characteristics defined within its class. So object is an entity that is created from the class. So when the class is instantiated, an object is created actually. So when I am saying we have instantiated the class, that means we have created an object that actually occupy the memory space. And each object has its own state. That means has its own values, instance variables, and have own behavior. Then every set of objects have its own set of the variables and methods. So this is the object here. So this is the state actually. This is the state, and state means the attributes, and this is the behavior. This is the behavior actually. So this is the behavior. Behavior, that means the methods. Behavior means methods. So methods that actually works on that particular object. The behavior means this is the code that actually process this data, and this is the identity, means the unique name provided to the object. So an object consists of the state, behavior, and the identity. Now we need to create this particular object, this type of the particular object. So we can create the object by using all these types of the procedures. We can use create the object by using the new keyword, new instance, clone method, or deserialization. But now focusing the creation of the object by using the new keyword here. So whenever we want to create an object in the Java, we need these three steps. First, we need to create or declare a reference variable, then creation of an object, and then linking the object with the reference variable. So first we need to create a reference variable of the class type. So reference variable is created here. So the class name and then variable name. We have created a reference variable. Then we have created a object by using the new keyword, right? So as there is a student class, suppose we have a student class. So there is a student and we have created a reference variable, right? Now we have created we have created a reference variable of the type of student type class, this one. Now we need to create an object. So we have created an object by using the new keyword, and then we have used this as a constructor or methods. Now we need to link it with this reference variable. And if we combine all these things into one line, we can write it like this. So student, this is the reference variable, then new keyword, and then this. So in this way we can create an object actually. We can have this. So what we have done here, we have first created the reference variable, and then the second statement is we have created an object and we have provided the reference to the this reference variable actually. So this is the declaration part. Here we have to mention the class name, then any reference variable, then new keyword, and then this is the constructor. This is known as the constructor because this is the special method that has the same name as a class. Because whenever we have created an object, this method is automatically called. And the work of this method, the purpose of this method is to initialize the object as soon as it is created. So how we can initialize the object? We can initialize the object by using the reference variable, by method, and by constructor. So once we have created an object, we need to initialize it. So we can initialize the object by using these three methods. Either we can use the reference variable, or we can use any special methods, or we can even use the constructor. So the first is how we can initialize the object by using the reference variable. So as we can see here, this is the class student. It have two variables only, ID and name. And when we have created an object, when we want to create an object of this type, it will create the two variables only, and we need to initialize it. So here we can see in the main, now we have created a main class that have the main method. And now we have created an object here of this student class. But this ID, this if I am going to write only the ID, this has no significance until we are going to link it with a particular object. So only the instance variable have no significance until we are linking it with the particular objects. So that means we are referring these variables with the objects. That's why it is known as the reference variable. And we have refer all these variables with the object we have created. So now this is as an actual variable are working, and we can initialize any value that we want here. So in this way we can initialize the objects, initialize the values here. Second one is we can also initialize by calling another methods. So in the first example, we have only used the IDs, only we use the fields. Now here we have also used a method, insert record. So this method is called to initialize these variables. Because the method is available in the same class, that means this method can call the can have the access of these data. And also we have another method in this class, that is a display information, that just can display the name and whatever the ID if want to print. So here we are displaying the ID and name both. So again we have created another class, that is main, that having the main methods, and we have created again an object of this class, student class. And now we have to just call these methods, because whenever we have called these methods and pass the values, these values get assigned to these variables, right? So we have called this method with the reference of again objects. So in the previous examples, we have called directly the fields with the references, but here we are calling the methods with the reference variable, and through method we are initializing these objects. Another one is constructor. So the method that we were previously used in the previous example, the method name is just replaced by some special method name that has the same name as the class. So the method name is same as the class name. So this method, this special method is known as the constructor. So constructor is the same name, same method as the constructor is a method that has same name as a class. Because whenever we are declaring the object, this constructor is called here. So at the declaration time, this constructor is called and the values is passed here, and then values get initialized here. So as soon as the object is created, it is initialized. This is the purpose of the constructor. So in this way, these three ways we can initialize the objects. So we have seen what is the class actually. what is the objects, how we can create the objects, how we can initialize the objects, and what are the basic features of the Java in this class. In the next class, we will discuss the various programming scenarios and the next features of the Java. Thank you so much.